This is Evil Dojo. Hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. I sure did. It's good to spend time with family. Good to really take in what it means to be around people that you care about. That said, I care about all of you. I'm glad that you are going to be joining me tonight. So sit back and relax. I didn't really have a plan for when I was starting. I still don't really have a plan or exactly what I'm doing tonight. But just like always, we're going to figure that plan out together as we go. I'm going to be playing some tunes, some Young Internet, some Whitey Cracker, some Spoke, some DNSK, some darkmage. Hope everyone enjoys. Let's get started. We'll be aiming for a little bit after 10:30 p.m. I'm going to let everyone know that we are live. Get myself some coffee and get hacking. It's Evil Dojo. Welcome to the studio.
Yeah, you know what the fuck it is. This motherfucking Killers, aka Stigmatic, aka Young Internet, aka the motherfucking Queen Squad Captain. Yeah.
Can you please find for me that DB? Looking for the creds and I ain't being sneaky. Yo, motherfucking database is so leaky. What the fuck you doing? You can send that email in plain text, let alone MP4s if you having sex. But I don't want your porn, I just want your fucking creds. Load up the DB on the NVMe. I got the IOSP, I don't got legacy. Gonna use all your coin at by a 6 speed. What? Watch real close when the data be poppin'. If they don't rob you, they gon' get your doxin'. If they get your doxin', your income gon' be droppin'. Drop. I said watch real close when the data be poppin'. If they don't rob ya, they gon' get your doxin'. If they get your doxin', your income gon' be droppin'. Yeah. It's a brand new world on the internet. Also many of my dogs, I might need a fucking vet. If you don't got a firewall, you better keep it checked. Shit. It's a brand new world on the internet. Lost so many of my dogs, I might need a fucking vet. If you don't got a file, well, you better bring a check. Yeah. I said it's a brand world here on the internet. Lost so many of my dogs, I might need a fucking vet. If you don't got a file, well, better bring a motherfucking check. Can you please find for me that DB? Looking for the creds and I ain't being sneaky. Yo, motherfucking database is so leaky. Yeah.
Don't wanna talk, leave me alone. Don't wanna talk.
Hey, I tried to call you, but it says your voicemail's not set up.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Bitch.
I don't wanna talk on my computer phone. Tell these goofy motherfuckers just leave me alone. My ringtone don't speak when I enter my zone. Trust nobody, I do this dirt on my own. Rookie in your security system. Footage gone, timestamps, they went missing. Unlock the door with the flick of my wrist, son. Access control database runs on WinVista. Data fiend, I control these machines. Packet dumping while you staring at your phone screen. Fuck a TikTok, I be messed up like it's Halloween. Fuck a damn thought, she can't do anything for me. Bitch, I'm sick and tired of these notifications. You better only bang my line for financial communication. Talking money operations, profitable situations. Don't make me regret CDMA Tower associations. Dr. Internet serving all my patients. Phone ringtone got me so low on patience. Turn your OS to an agent. Air them out, need ventilations. Command and control travel through onion router workstations. I don't wanna talk on my cellular device unless we talking about the profit margins or the price. I've been rolling solo dolo and I ain't feeling nice. The location data provided to me was so precise. Get a slice. Yes, I got these pies. stripes. I'ma make them police officers go on strike. The internal data access by some guests with no invites. They try to prosecute us, but the internet unite. Probably the reason behind your latency spikes. Yes, I be creeping around these nets through the dead of the night. Don't want your bitch friend invite. You know she acts so polite. I treat her like a police officer, bitch. I know my rights. Yeah, don't wanna talk. Don't wanna talk, leave me alone. Don't wanna talk. Don't wanna talk, leave me alone. Don't wanna talk. Don't wanna talk, computer phone. On my computer phone.
I ain't wanna talk on the mobile. If you're gonna yodel, hit me with the pox at global. Feel a little buzz on my scrotal. King of the internet, I keep it noble. Some days, feel a return of the old ways, even in my old age. So I love when the old page come through with the whole blaze, while the feds giving me the cold gaze. Can't even talk on the string cans. One slip and they bring fans. See them coming like the pink bands. Try to ruin how I spring plans. Got the networks with the pink scans. Shots to my big stands. Silver blades, stay the blades, and my big fans. Young internet and I still keep it clutched like a flywheel with a silence be the ideal.
Don't wanna talk. Don't wanna talk.
Young internet and I still keep it clutched like a flywheel with a
Don't wanna
silence be
talk.
the
Leave me
ideal.
alone.
What's happening, everyone? Welcome to Evil Dojo. Christmas Day +1 edition. I am your host, the ghost with the most gnosis. I spit so hard I got halitosis. Octopus didn't get that metaphor because he's a whore. A gay one at that for sure. Want to go see KMFDM when they are on tour. Again, I've seen them once up in Austin. How do I flow off a cardiac arrest? I just gotta let you know I'm the fucking best. Put me to the test, never let it rest. Gonna get it up, yeah, never gonna stop. Gonna go till we drop. Chop chop, motherfucker, yo. Clip clop, come and kill a cop. Nah, just kidding. Haha. Yeah, we're winning. Yeah. What up, cheesy? Yeah, we make this shit easy. Damn, we flow breezy. Damn, we cough so wheezy cause we on that sticky icky green. You know what I mean? Coming at you hard from a TV screen. Down with the sick flow. Evil Dojo. Yeah, we're never gonna quit cause we got this shit legit. Going in, my friends. What up? Here we go. Where did we leave off? Right? We left off on a bunch of stuff, but I did some stuff just recently, as in like 5 minutes before starting stream. I'm starting to do that as a habit. It's kind of a good one, right? Like, I moved the rooms I'm generating up a bit because I'm preparing to install hallways. Once we have hallways, we can do doors. I also have a debug panel now. This is going to be very important because I just quickly hit D, immediately look to my right, and see a bunch of stuff that could be useful and add to it. I actually also built a modifier table. Check it out. This is actually really important for quick lookup of what sort of bonus that you might need in a calculation, right? I don't care if this is coded poorly. It does what it needs to do. For right now. Eventually, once I get like stat modifiers above, or ability scores above 20, then I'll need to go back here. But in the very beginning, I'm not going to encounter anything that's that high up. And I'm not going to need to worry about testing stuff like that until far later in development. In the end, there's going to be like ascension levels, kind of like in Dungeons & Dragons. Get high enough level, become like epic status or whatever. So if you attempt to equip something, and you don't have anything in your inventory that you can equip, you have nothing to equip. A comma. Pick up something off the ground. The most powerful weapon here is the longsword. We're gonna grab that. We're gonna equip it. My right hand. I have not set up handedness yet, but for right now I'm going to make like handedness like irrelevant. Eventually you'll be able to equip it in the left hand and then be able to equip shield in the right hand and vice versa. Shields are coming soon. We have a long sword equipped now. This means we're going to do a lot more damage. Entity component system, right? ECS. Mm-hmm. Long time ago, Cheese, when I was originally developing Project A, Project A was originally built in Cocos 2D on iOS. This was a long time ago with Cocos 2D. Objective-C. When I think about entity component system in general, when I think about Cocos 2D and how it's different, Cocos 2D used a tree system. And when it comes to entity component, it's still object oriented, but when you really think about how does entity component differ from object-oriented in general, or how is it the same, rather? Entity component kind of tries to generalize everything in the system so that you can just add entities and change values on those entities without having to like subclass everything. It's still kind of a form of object-oriented, just done differently. Yeah. I'm really trying not to rush development here. I want to be very careful, and being part of being very careful is basic type checking, which Python doesn't do for you. You have to manually implement yourself. But it's great though, because you don't have to recompile your fucking code all the time. One thing I like about it. So you took those 2 dudes out in one hit. You notice too, I'm also rolling around with 2 HP. And my AC is currently less. Damn Skippy Octopus. And I say this as a former C programmer. Python showed me the light. All right. 5 experience. So, speaking of entity component, right? The way I'm currently doing things is kind of a mix of both. It's kind of silly. Let's take weapons, for instance. The way I'm doing weapons currently is like implemented as items, which is kind of a form of entity component. But I could easily subclass what item to make weapon, and then make weapon class, right? I could even get rid of item class. Because then I can check if something's a weapon by checking if what its type is. We'll be able to make other item types that way too. Then I can attach a weapon class. As like for instance, if you attack a skeleton with a item or a weapon that is a blunt, then you're gonna get a bonus. We have to be able to make that check to do that. I don't have any undead yet, though. I don't know how priority that particular task is yet. What I am kind of interested in doing is hallways and doors, though. Who saw The Matrix? Let's talk about The Matrix. Whoa, as I yell into the mic. Let's talk about The Matrix. In before, let's not. I liked it a lot. Actually, shields and whatnot will be next. Here we can define a room, or rather a hall. As a line. I was watching it again with people, and let me turn this shit down. I was watching it again with people, and SciTube, right? So many people were complaining. So many people on Twitter were complaining too. And a lot of people were complaining about 2 and 3, but not for the reasons that I was. One of my biggest issues with 3 was that they didn't get deeper into the whole matrix within a matrix concept. They kind of did here, but in a different way. Here you're talking about multiple versions of the Matrix. After Neo sacrificed himself, they remade the Matrix. But every time they remake the Matrix, there's always a new one that emerges. But Neo broke the cycle, and so he was a one beyond the other ones, in a way. Actually, this is going to be a lot harder than I thought. I'll have to do an outer boundary check, but I'm not gonna write it right now. Add row of tiles doesn't work the way I think it does.
A new privacy application is making waves in the news again after another wave of arrests have brought down at least 35 people in 6 states related to online privacy and neutrality.
VS. Talk to me, B-Rex. What's VS? I feel like I'm about to learn something new. For you're talking about like for opening other shits, other files. Oh fuck! How do you switch between them? This is weird. Yeah, I don't know how the mouse would integrate here. Let me look it up. Vertical split. Then switch. Command mode. Oh, you have to be hit in command mode. Okay. Oh, you do it twice. Well, you know, I'm curious, B-Rex. Now I'm actually really curious how this integrates with the plugins that I have installed. So, like for instance, yeah, well, I mean, I can do this a couple of different ways actually, right? Check this out. First, let me exit that file. Right? So the terminal that I'm using, which is called Terminator, if you hit Control Shift and E, that opens a vertical split in a new shell right away. If I hit Control O, hit another one. I can do that. I can do. Oh, there's a new one. I can split pretty deep. Look at that delicious Fibonacci spiral of terminals. I bet you can split pretty deep too to milk this. Oh, Lord. What is up, girl? Welcome to the Evil Dojo. I mean, as you are aware, we are looking for some money and some sick hoes here at the Evil Dojo. And I'm sure that you qualify. Right on. What time is it in New Zealand? Nice. Nice. Sounds like you caught a good nap. Oh, it's tomorrow for you. Wow, that's crazy. So New Zealand is ahead of the US in time. I knew that Japan, I thought Japan was land of the rising sun. What is, that's like, man, I fucking hate time zones. You know, like, when I first got on IRC, the girl who got me on was working night shift. And so she was like up late chatting, and I was night owl already, and so I happened to cross paths with her. Oh no. I will wait. The girl who I ran into on IRC was working late night, and I was a night owl, and we crossed paths. Yeah, there's I believe 2 or 3 ads an hour. I believe I set it to 2. I felt like 3 might be greedy or aggressive. The settings allowed me to like set it to like 5 if I wanted to, and I was like, no, that's like ridiculous. I'm not like hardcore like that. But once I got Twitch, I believe I'm affiliate now, right? So I can get paid for Twitch Prime subs. I can get paid for a lot of different things. If you really like what I do, I have a number of different ways that you can support me. One of my students pays me in Venmo. One of my students pays me in PayPal. I've been supported through Monero. I've been supported through different cryptocurrencies. I've got a Patreon. I get a small amount of money from clicks from DigitalOcean and from fucking Skillshare. Not that much though. Those are numbers that I'm trying to boost, but I also recognize that, you know, at this point I'm kind of spread thin. So I'm trying to pick a direction and just head in it, you know what I mean? And if it were between anything else, I'd be working on code. in this environment, where I can operate using the tools that I prefer without being forced or subjugated to work in some other IDE or environment that I just don't have a like for. And at this point, I've tried a lot. So if I add this function here, I'll be able to update add row of tiles to use it, right? In fact, the basis of the whole function is going to be essentially that. VS Code is trash. Oh shit, Era's the man. What is up? And look at that, spanking that devil ass. I got some of the best. Just straight up got some of the best, what do you call it? Emojis or animated GIF shits. I updated them the other day, they're fucking great. What is some Quim? Here's what's useful about VS Code. The built-in package, network that you can like update with plugins and all sorts of crazy shit, but the I should have known. Jesus Christ, no, that's Octopus, what do you prefer though, Visual Studio Code or Sublime Text? Because personally, I feel like Sublime Text is more performant and faster to load in a lot of regards. At times, I have just straight up felt lag from Visual Studio Code on a machine that was relatively fast, and honestly, I've always felt that with a lot of Microsoft products. Last time I felt like Microsoft anything was fast was XP, when there was like virtually no protections, and yeah, I mean that's probably why it was so fast, was that there was no protections. And that was like back in the day when like, the max memory, it's like 32-bit when there's XP. Interesting. I mean, every now and then I open a really big file in Vim, mostly just because I can trust it and do it. But I try not to, and if I know that I'm working with a big file, I try to either identify the lines I want to work with, or I use head or tail or some way to rip out like a small chunk of the file without having to like open the whole thing. Just out of OCD, like memory management, like always used to working with a machine with like a small amount of RAM. This machine's not too bad. It's got 16 gigs. I upgraded from 8 myself. I did that with my MacBook Pro from 4 to 8. At some point I want to get this up. And I have another desktop with 16. Beef Carver, oh my god. Beef Carver is dropping some hot ass tunes, by the way. One of which is for a contest for LRH coming up. It's due on January 7th, I believe. It's a rap contest, and using his beat, you're supposed to do a anti-diss rap on a particular chatter in LRH. Yeah, Octopus, I'm just like super OCD. That's like what led me down that rabbit hole to like get into Gentoo and like awesome window manager and stuff like that, was having so little patience that I needed my programs to load that much faster. Like I wanted to shave off fucking milliseconds, which might sound absurd, but I dream of a world where software is just fucking snappy across the board. There are certain websites that have started to implement this sort of strategy that It's like anti-JavaScript, but somehow, yeah. Look at that shit. Thank you, Beef Carver. But this LRH rap contest is all about anti-diss. So you're supposed to like hype your person up. When I say your person, you're supposed to create a rap about someone in the channel. And the beat is actually really fucking... It's gonna be hard to do an anti-diss rap to that beat, I feel like, because it's just like such a hard beat. We could listen to it. Up and pardon me. There we go. Yeah, I hear bad things about working for Apple in general. Let's see, let's get back to where we were at.
Greetings, this is DNSK live in the mix with Noise DDoS Techno Session 001.
I do not mind re-listening to the set because the set was like
I want
fire.
to greet you all. Welcome to this event. This is the first time I'm doing a live set on livesets.com. I am usually more acquainted with SoundCloud and Hear This and etc.
More fire. Interesting Beer X. Might be open to listening. So, if I were to call this function at a particular XY after creating a dungeon, so this would be update row tiles.
I want you to know that there is something in the way. Something.
Actually, I wonder, could I use draw basic room to do that?
Greetings. This is DNSK live in the mix on live sets, and I want to welcome my first listener actually on this live set, Irie man. We've been through things and stuff, but have we ever DDoSed anyone? I don't think so. I don't do things like that. I do techno, especially acid and industrial techno, which I will be serving you guys tonight in this first premiere episode of Noise DDoS on livesets.com. So put it together, and I will prevail.
Yeah, I've heard the minis are good. one big long hallway.
Can you feel it coming into you? Just like the great gig in the sky with Pink Floyd, the vocals are magic.
Basic hallways.
You are receding. Like a distant ship smoke on the horizon.
What's next? Doors. I believe that's the syntax.
Yes. The first track has been played and it was Flavi Predu with Back Underground, and that's where I belong. DNSK belongs in the house and techno scene in the underground since 1994. So without further ado, I will now feel like I've been presenting myself enough with my style, my stings and ting-tings, and yeah. So without further ado, I will keep you mystified in the techno. Acid and industrial techno will be served tonight, so keep it tight. I will now put away the mic. Enjoy.
We are just over an hour into the first part of this broadcast. How is everyone doing? I hope you are chilling and killing anything in your life that stands in your way. Doors cannot be items. It'll be something completely different. Doors. We're adding a door to YX. Super basic. The renderer needs to be able to render doors. So this is all of the tiles, but then we have a thing to draw items. So we need to set a symbol. On the item. So the door symbol in NetHack is
Yes,
a plus symbol for a
you
closed door.
just heard Muddy Bones with Hex original mix. This is the DJ DNSK live in the mix on livesets.com. It's a new site for me, at least. I haven't been around here before, but I think I will invest some time in this site for sure. Coming up is Simon Stacks with Caffeine Spider, a brand new song from the techno scene. So anyway, let's try this bass out, huh? Yeah. And a 1, 2, 3.
Alright, so draw main screen door, and then draw main screen doors. Oops. This is new. We're going to do it before rendering items from PCs and the PC, but after drawing the main dungeon door. Oh, whoops. In the renderer, 266. There we are, there's our door, but we are to walk over it, so, but it's open. But door is not closed. By default, we need it to be closed. I put that wrong. By default, it should be true. So when you run into a door, that is closed. Now the door is appearing in the correct location, but now we need to have physics to interact with the door. In the very beginning, at the very least, we need to be able to walk into the door, right? Go to check movement. We can also do a check check entity check entity door collision. For door and self-ending doors, if e.x, actually we're going to call each door d. It's more like a math equation. So once you find the first dungeon door, you return it, otherwise you return nothing. So now we can check entity door collision. if you're walking into a door, if you try to walk into a door, I don't necessarily know that I want to count that as a turn. It will be kind of obvious that you can't walk into a door, but we should at least inform the player that you can't walk into a door. However, at this point, there we go. Oh, fuck, it crashed. What was the list index value? Wait. Oops. Can I get to the door without dying? But it wouldn't let me. It won't stop me from walking.
Alright, you just heard Back on 2 original mix with V111. Coming up is Orgy. Or if we pronounce it in, or if we say it in Norwegian, it's Örgi. But I'm Swedish, so no, the Norway is my wingman in the West. Alright, shoutouts to Blackened. Go to open up your web browser, and if you have Discord account, go to discord.blackened.net. That is discord.blcknd.net. And join our server. For all means, you're most welcome. And shoutouts to no one else but Intedo, my good friend, and mind alike. Enjoy this tune with Protect the Line with Örgi.
Let's see. So if we manage to get past the door collision, so the check, there might be a slight difference in how the collisions are checked. So you have to actually pass in the X, the Y, and the X And if there is a collision, with the door, it'll let you know, it'll immediately kind of exit out. If you can't walk in a particular direction, otherwise it'll actually process. Here we go. There we go. You can't walk through the wooden door. Not until you open it. So we need to be able to open it. So we need to open the door. Handle inputs. So attempting to open something. The very basic case, you press O and then a direction. And then you will open in the direction that you press. Right now I feel too lazy to write a smart, intelligent door opener. You're gonna have to manually specify which direction. And that's fine for right now. Let's see. Once you establish
Alright, in the break beats, we can tell you that this is New Frames with Byronic Hero.
Okay. Now we have our directions. So y actually equals dirs of key of 0. X equals dirs of key of 1. Alright, let's see. It's coming up to midnight, and we're not stopping here.
C flat minor.
Shoutouts to everyone in the Twitch chat.
Anyway, that was New Frames with Byronic Hero here on Noisy Daz with your host with the most, DNSK. Big shout outs to Waffle, also Ruckus, and I want to welcome You Found Me to the Discord server. Just found. We found you. Have you found us? I don't know yet. Anyway, coming up is DIYU with Reactor.
In other words, if the door is in the location that we're about to move into. In other words, if we return true. Thank you, Milkness. Ooh, killed a dude without even thinking. Alright, open. Crap. What is actually being passed? Key error 54. Quick way to see what's happening here. Let's see. $54. The fuck is 54? Screeps World, huh? That sounds interesting. So there we go. I believe that solved my problem. Six. Good. I can undo this.
Yeah, some of that DIY.
Yes, door opened, door closed, door opened. Oh, but it won't let me go through.
How Now, do you feel that backspin? Do you feel that backspin? Next up is 0055 Rail Fantasy.
Hey DK, what up?
Let's put the bass.
What are you drunk on?
Somewhere in like there. All right. Shout out to LRH Spoon, especially Spoon, who made some spam for my account. Thank
Oh,
you.
this is pretty great. I'm able to escape the room now and close the door. Enemies can fight with themselves. They cannot get through because they cannot yet open doors themselves. Sweet. There's ultimately going to be some placement decision making that I'll have to do when it comes to dungeon crafting. But now we have the ability to place doors. And this infinitely increases the complexity and possibility for the types of dungeons I can create. Not only do we have doors, but we have multiple types of doors. Not exactly a mud DK, this is more a roguelike. This is a lot closer to NetHack and games in that vein. Oh, about to die. As you can see down here in the bottom right, my hunger is dwindling rapidly. No, this is not HTML based. This is entirely in the terminal. However, it could be HTML based because it's in Python. It could be that you end up interacting with it in a browser in the future. I don't know all the different ways that I'll end up launching it, but you can test it now, actually. The code is located at GitHub, and you are more than welcome to try it. You can go to linktree/evildojo. You can get to my GitHub from there. In fact, I will put the source code link in the chat. After every broadcast, I upload or commit and push. Oh, well, it'll look as good as your terminal can render, which you don't really need a whole lot of GPU power to push. Which makes it nice because anyone can play it, even people with shitty computers, people who are logged into servers. In the future, perhaps you might need a really nice graphics card because this is ultimately the underlying engine for what is to come. Doors, man. We got doors. I would if I had a fucking GPU, dude. All I have is onboard graphics right now. If I had CUDA cores, I'd be fucking mining coin. I used to have CUDA cores a long time ago, I mined like 2 Bitcoin off of a really old Nvidia card in like 2011, 2012. This is not financial advice, but if you have CUDA cores, I highly recommend mining Monero. Let's see what's next. Commit. I mean, you can do a lot of things with 2 Bitcoin, dude, honestly. Coinbase, like for instance, Coinbase has a lending program where if you have $250 in Bitcoin, right? Like, let's calculate something. At $250 in Bitcoin, you can actually borrow $100 worth of USD. So if you scale that up, if it's comparable in that way, you can do if we were up to 50,000 USD, if we were to just average Bitcoin at being that right now, right? Then what is that?
I techno you like a hurricane. Next up is a
10, see, 10, 100, and then 200, right? So you can borrow, if you have 1 Bitcoin, you could borrow like $20,000 from Coinbase, and then you'd be able to take that money and then reinvest it into another coin, make profit off of that coin, and then pay off your loan in order to make enough money to get your original Bitcoin back, at which point the price of that Bitcoin would change and you don't ultimately lose your investment. So let's say you had like a Bitcoin and you wanted to pay your rent out of that. You could borrow the money out of that and then immediately pay it back, never lose your initial investment. So it's kind of cool when you think about it like that. Got basic doors, we got basic hallways. Speaking of, if you would like me to do more talks on Coinbase, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, I'm really into talking about that kind of stuff because there's a lot that people don't know. For instance, El Salvador, right?
Big shout outs to Waffle.
No, Dingo. Unfortunately, the standing desk might be a day or two away. Initially, we were planning to get it into my apartment tomorrow, but people weren't feeling well, so people were getting tested for possible COVID exposure. I wasn't feeling the best this morning, but by midday I was feeling a lot better, so I haven't felt a need to go out to do that. especially and I'm feeling especially good considering I haven't taken my decongestant, which I'm normally used to taking like every day. I was late getting to the pharmacy today, and unfortunately could not pick that up. The Coinbase link should be up here, and soon. I think I have it set to like 30 seconds per image. It's like coinbase.com/darkmage. If you put in $100 to your Coinbase on that link, after you sign up, you get an extra $10 in Bitcoin. I get an extra $10 in Bitcoin. Nobody's signed up for it yet, but I actually have people who have signed up for Volter, almost to the point where I have $100 possibly coming to me. Same thing in Twitch, but all of these things like only pay out like after you get like they're like $100 increments, and I've not yet hit the velocity of being able to get the consistent payouts on those. Let's talk about Bitcoin real quick. A lot of people don't know that in El Salvador, the Bitcoin network that is actually powering everything underneath isn't actually Bitcoin. It's Algorand. Algorand's fucking awesome if y'all have not messed with that yet. Here's why. Super low transaction fees. Every transaction that I'm making on it is something like 0.002 Algorand. So you can move around large amounts of money for very little cost. Secondly, smart contracts in the same vein as Ethereum, meaning they can implement custom tokens just like ERC20 coins using the ASA standard. They have swaps. There is a Tiny Man swap now. It is the first Algorand swap, decentralized exchange. Every time you perform a swap on it, you actually make a little bit of token in whatever token it is that you're swapping to. There are staking programs. Algorand by nature, by default, stakes automatically in whatever wallet that you hold it in. Certain wallets pay out more frequently than others, but like for instance on Ledger, if I hold it in my hard wallet, I have to either make a claim, which is a transaction, and so you earn rewards for that transaction, or you can make a transaction to that wallet and get the rewards that way. It's something like 4 to 6% interest every year. But there are staking programs using some of the Algorand tokens that enable you to make far more than 6% every year. So there's also liquidity programs in which by staking a equal amount of your Algorand or some other token along with some other token, you can passively earn interest on every trade that's made in a particular staking pool. So you can, if you had like however much money, just sit back and passively make interest just holding your coins, allowing people to make trades on the network, which is pretty cool. I'm all about that passive interest, that passive income. I'm all about fast financial networks and transactions. The idea of Bitcoin was really cool in the beginning, but in the end, practicality, when people talk about it, are really kind of playing like a fear of missing out, late to the game kind of catch up. And the technology was important in the very beginning, but there's so many new blockchains out there. People are riding off of late information to the game. Ethereum got to the smart contract domain first, but in the end there are other networks that possibly do it better and have already implemented staking well ahead of Ethereum. Who knows when Ethereum 2.0 is actually going to drop? I locked fucking $100 up in that at the beginning of this year, I think, and there's absolutely no sign of it switching over as we get to the end of the year. Not to mention, so many other tokens have been implemented on it. The gas fees are just astronomical. There's no real good reason to use Ethereum right now. Once you make your initial investment in Ethereum or Bitcoin, it just doesn't make sense to move money around on the network. Whereas you can actually do this while Algorand, and it's not technically expensive. You don't really lose a whole lot of your investment by moving from one wallet to another. Whereas with Ethereum, the gas fees are so fucking expensive, you automatically lose large amounts of your transaction just in moving stuff around, unless you're, of course, such a whale that you can casually lose $300 on a transaction. Yeah, there's a lot of logistic issues there. Big fan of Algorand, though. Big fan of some of these other tokens, but Algorand largely, I don't see a lot of people talking about it as much as I feel like it should be. So, here I am. We're sitting at a little bit over 2 hours. I think it is time for a refreshment break. I hope everyone's still doing well. We're gonna maybe put on some different tunes. I like this mix, but I think it's time for something else. This is supposed to be royalty free. I don't know what we're working on next, but I definitely need to stand up. Ugh. Yeah, I can't wait for that standing desk. I need a little bit of assistance getting it up, because it is rather heavy and I'm a lightweight guy. Every sense of the word. Something easy to do. Basic name generator that we can start growing on. Perhaps that is what we will do next. Yeah, that's easy enough. Maybe we'll get deep into something else shortly after that. It is time for more coffee though, either way. I think we'll take a 10-minute rest reprieve here. Be right back. Alright, we are back. I had a thought. Names is too easy. I know something I can do more interesting and useful. As far as the game goes, anyway. It's time to implement basic lighting. What does that mean? When rendering the screen, currently we're drawing the whole dungeon. But just like in Diablo, there's a light radius. With NetHack, the way that it works is undiscovered tiles aren't drawn until you discover them. And so this way you can kind of build a map of the dungeon. In my game, we're going to have light radius. This will affect the AI of the enemies in the future too. But ultimately, there will be a way to sort of build a map eventually. Discovered tiles will be something that we can indicate in the future. Right now, I want to focus on light radius, because this is going to be a visually interesting aspect of the whole experience, kind of like a fog of war. The greater your light radius is, the further ahead of you you can actually see. So when you're moving around, you won't know necessarily what's ahead of you unless you have a good light radius. We're going to get the beginnings of this going, because currently, when we render the dungeon floor, we're just drawing the whole dungeon right away. Excuse me. Actually, we're doing it tile by tile. But, we want to be able to calculate a distance between 2 points. And we want to compare this distance to the light radius. If that distance is less than or equal to the light radius, then we will actually render the tile. Oh Lord, what is the formula? It's like x1 plus x2 squared minus y2 minus something squared. Fucking forget. Yeah, x2 minus x1 squared. x2 minus x1 squared plus y0 minus y And then the whole thing square root. I'm pretty sure that's it. So that should give me, isn't it supposed to be absolute value? Isn't it going to be slightly different for the fact that I'm working in a different sort of field? No, because it's all positive variables, so it should still work here. So we get our tile to draw, we get the Y and the X. And that's like the position on screen. But the actual coordinates, the actual tile is going to be IJ in the dungeon. So that's an important detail, because the PC has its own X and the PC has its own Y. So if we want to get to distance to PC equals self.get distance, between the tile, and it's actually YX, not XY, but it's going to be self.get distance IJ, and then game.pc.y, game.pc.x. And if the distance to PC is less than or equal to game.pc.lightradius, this is a test. In the very beginning, it just is a light radius of 1. Oh man, you can't see shit. And the outer tile, it's only doing the immediate tiles. The corner tiles are not registering as visible. But if I were to update the starting default light radius to 2, now we can see one extra tile ahead, as well as the corners. But we shouldn't be able to see the enemies either, unless they're within radius, right? We shouldn't be able to see the door either, but this is the beginning. So I'm going to leave this as a tweak for right now. The light radius equals 2 is a way to allow us to see the corners, and also not to be like hyper punishing, like because this is going to be a really hard game in general. I like the idea in NetHack that you could equip a blindfold and play in Zen mode where you can't see fucking anything. I want to be able to have an achievement system. Where you could play with the blindfold on from the very beginning. Like if your first turn is putting on the blindfold, and then we start measuring how many turns you play. So we need to, in addition, to this thing, main screen entity. Just make sure that the check is out of bounds, but before we even do all of that, we're going to go and check to see if the NPC is within distance of the so first of all, we only want to draw, well, first of all, okay, there's two cases here. So there's the IJ, and then there's the NPC.x, or the Y, NPC.x. If NPC.is player, then we, if not this, then we do this, right? And then we actually do that check. So first we check to see if the NPC is the player, or the entity that we're passing in. I call it E here. If it is the player, we'll draw the player. If it isn't the player, we're going to check the light radius compared to the distance to the player. If the NPC is outside of that distance, it should not get rendered. 9123. Whoops, dude. Yeah, it actually is a fucking fan. Oh my god, it's so annoying. Holy shit, I can't believe you can hear it. I'm turning it off. I actually have an AC on in the background, but that was a ceiling fan that you were hearing, Dingo. Good call. Good call. Looks like it worked. You can still see the door, but check it out. Pretty good. You got a light radius going here. And we can't see any fucking buddy. And we've all of a sudden run into two people. Scary. So we have to be very precise in our movements because, as you can see, our AC is only 11. We're going to step down. And we are surrounded, but we have inadvertently skipped grabbing an item. We're going to head northwest. We're going to head left. Looks like there's a fight going on in the background. We're going to go ahead and grab the longsword. We're going to equip on our right hand the longsword. You know what would actually be useful to show in the debug panel as I'm doing this? Would be like your attack So in this beginning, we don't even have a base attack to even factor into the calculation. So, yeah, because the base attack is a bonus, right? So you roll and you add your base attack. And your base attack is typically 0 unless you have like a high strength. Or you're equipped with some magic item. So when you do your initial roll, total equals roll plus base attack. If total is greater than or equal to our AC. So now we can actually have a base attack. So the damage in this case is a factor of the weapon die. The weapon die is equal to whatever the stats are for that weapon, which is stored on the weapon itself, which in this case is grabbed from the right hand. But if you do not have a weapon, then the weapon die is just 1 HP. In this case, like, you know, it's like attacking with your fist is, if you're not a monk, is like just one. So this is important because if you had equipped like a weapon with a modifier, or if you level up and your base attack increases, like for instance, as soon as a wizard levels up, they get a +1 to their base attack. The base attack allows you to actually hit an enemy. It gives you an increased chance of actually connecting an attack. But in this very beginning, we don't have a bonus. But I want to be able to actually reference base attack. We know what your base damage is. Base damage, which is calculated here, kinda. So we could actually say base damage equals self dot base damage. And that way I don't have to change too much of this code. Kind of simplified things a little bit. We can at least see the base attack in the debug screen now. In the end, I'm gonna pretty soon need to level up my monster spawning stuff. Right now I'm like hard coding in dudes because we have like so little variety of dudes. Or enemies rather. Or NPC spawning. Because we need more definitions. So 2 more enemies in the gun. Oh, it's gonna be hard to find these guys, huh? Or nerf for testing. Every time you hit an enemy, it would increase your light radius. Yeah, we did it. No more enemy. Wait, there's one more NPC in the dungeon. I don't know where they're at though. Let's see if we can find. There we are. We killed him. Nope. We're hunting him down. We killed him. Yes. Oh, and we still need to do the light thing for the door. Yes. Oh my god, this is so cool. Oh wow. This looks pretty good, right? Like, NetHack ain't got shit on this. Okay, we have to do doors. And then draw main screen door. So we have to get the door.y, door.x, and if they're within distance, then we would rise. Yeah. In the end, I'm probably too weak to equip a longsword, so in the future I'm gonna have to make equipment checks. There's a door. It won't let me actually open the door. From here. It's weird. That's a bug. That was an item off the hard menu. Fuck yeah. But we have a opening doors diagonally does not work for some reason. No big deal. Got the beginnings of base damage, and we are lighting basics, or rather light radius. So we can create a kill count. So, I think we have a kill count. Whenever you attack, if you manage to actually kill someone, if the PC manages to kill someone, or if the person who died wasn't the PC. PC.killcounts plus equals 1. Demo that we have that. So, like for instance, every time you kill, I could increase your light radius by 1, just as like a fucking test. And that way you'd be able to like visually see stuff you'd have like more to see as you kill stuff. Maybe there would be a magic item that does this. But for right now, I'm just like testing NS code. We're coming up on 3 hours in, so at this my velocity is starting to wane. All right. So it's tricky here. We're gonna move up into the corner, but corners are really a bad spot. We just killed someone, and so our light radius just increased. We can see more, but we cannot see very far up. Why is that? Is there a problem with the formula? All right. Although technically, we should not be able to see behind that door. So when rendering, we not only have to check the distance, but we also have to check any items that might be in the path. Like Ray does. But hell, we have basic kill counts. Hey, Jewbird. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you. We got some really cool stuff done tonight. Check it out. So, we have a debug panel over here. But one thing that you notice now is that the whole dungeon is not rendering, right? That's because I just implemented a light radius. You step down. So first of all, num lock is on, so you can actually hit the numbers. Because numpad is currently how you navigate. Northwest, north, northeast, east, southeast, south, southwest, west. So I just walked on top of some stuff. Comma is pick up item. What would you like to pick up? There are 4 items here. You can use the not the D-pad, the arrow keys to navigate up and down this menu. I'm going to select longsword. Hit enter. You can see for the first turn, darkmage has picked up a longsword, and somewhere invisible to us, John's attack hit another dude named John. I have spawned with terrible dexterity. My dexterity modifier is -4. Seems like AC is 6. This is really fucking bad. It means I can get fucking owned real hard fast. So, because I just picked up a longsword, I'm gonna hit E to equip something. I'm gonna hit enter to do right hand, because currently all we can equip is any stuff on those, because we're just getting the equipment system rolling here. But because I have a longsword in my inventory, I'm gonna go ahead and hit longsword. If you hit I, you can see your inventory to see what's currently there. Currently, hitting enter doesn't do anything, and it doesn't cost a turn. We're currently on turn 3. We're gonna move, and we see a dude to the bottom left of us. Oh, I totally plan on implementing a multi-handed system in the future, Jubert, but the longsword to start with does not require 2 hands. In typical D&D games that I've played, you don't require 2 hands for the longsword. It's usually like a broadsword or a greatsword that ends up requiring 2 hands. Then you hit bottom, hit southwest to attack this guy, right? Instant death, killed him, and our light radius increased. I have a hunger system. I do not currently have any items that you can eat. Oh no, I fucking killed it. Like rolling around apparently scroll. Oh, this is an interesting discovery. Just discovered that you can actually have some input by scrolling your mouse. This is not what I was intending. But anyway, that's a fun discovery. So let me go ahead and do that again. Alright, so now we're equipped. Let's go ahead and kill everyone in this dungeon. I still spawned with some rather bad stats. Our light radius is increased significantly. Oh, and I died. The dude hit me. I spawned right next to a dude. Pardon. There we go. Okay, now here's another thing that we did tonight, Jubird. Check this out. We've got doors. So if you attempt to walk east, there is a wooden door here, and yeah, it actually does cost a turn. Attempting to walk into a wall costs turns. No, Milkness, fuck your acid trip. Aha. But check this out. Hit O, although I need to put log message. Press a direction. Uh-oh. I didn't do it for that key. Whoops. It's an important distinction. When you're actually moving around, it has to be the numpad. When you're controlling menus, it's the arrow keys. So let me do this again. Go and kill everyone in the dungeon again. Oh. Where'd this guy come from? He just popped up out of nowhere. I guess it's because when you move, they move into your light radius, and so if you move one direction and they move two or one, it's possible that they could pop up into your sphere without you actually seeing them, especially because of the bug. So anyway, you go up here, you hit O, and you press 6. Door is open now. Now you can walk through. On the other side, you hit O, close the door. Now the door is closed. Not to interrupt your free advertisement of, yes, thank you for acknowledging the open doors first before attempting to inject your free discussion of ASCII Bird. As it is, I'm putting a lot of hard work into building a dream project here, just like you are, Jubird. And that's why I think it is important that we both be stream bros. So, context being key, I am most certainly open to trying out ASCII Bird at some point for the next stage of development. We have hallways now too, and so this is actually a significant level up from where we were last time. It's not just that we can open doors, it's that we have doors at all. And not only doors that can open, but close as well, and also recognize the fact that they are closed. Now, is it too mean to cost a turn every time you move into a door? Possibly. Thankfully, the way that I wrote the code for this, it's mostly just a Boolean variable that you return if the move or the input that you're doing actually costs a turn or not, because it's on a per function and kind of a case-by-case basis. Makes it rather easy to do. But I'm gonna have to make some interoperability between the arrow keys and the numpad. Yeah, breaking the door down is gonna come soon, but yes, kicking is going to be an important mechanic, just like in NetHack. I have to think about how to implement that since you bring it up. Thank you for bringing it up, actually. I don't know that it's going to be easy. I'm going to put it in the medium category. It shouldn't be difficult. In kicking in general, easy. But kicking doors down / breaking doors down, how would I implement? Doors can get destroyed, but this is also why I started off by creating door types. We actually have a whole class for door types, and in the beginning there's just wooden, but let's say we wanted to create a couple more. An iron door, a steel door, a rock door, what other kind of doors might there be, or other material types that a door could be made out of? In the end, the whole point being certain doors will be harder to open than others. There will also be a very, situational key mechanic where you might find rusty keys throughout the dungeon. The keys themselves could degrade and become useless on a particular lock they were intended on. Certain keys will only be useful on certain locks. Certain doors might not have a key. Their keyhole might be jammed. Their Jones might be fuckhold, etc., etc. Okay, what are we kill count? Alright. Well, we are 3 hours into broadcast. It is almost 1:30 here. I am still drinking coffee for some crazy reason because I am totally insane. Velocity. What are you quoting by saying that? Closers. What is that from? Help me out. So, into Glengarry, Glen Ross. Not sure I've seen this. Sounds like something I might enjoy. Lots and lots and lots of commits. We've been working on this for quite a while. Since 11.11, but the idea has been really rolling around in my head since like 2013. Long time ago, I used to get paid to work on a project. I had dubbed Project A because it was A, my first project, and ultimately an alpha, so, you know, A, right? But 10 months in development, the financier decides to cut development entirely, cut my money off, and force me into a position where, with very little time and very little money saved, I had to figure out anything, and was put into a position where if I didn't get familial help, I was going to become homeless. So that's how one of the ways that I ended up back in Florida in late 2013. This was actually before I got my first corporate iOS development experience, as well as corporate information security experience, as well as experience doing code review for, I'm trying to phrase this in the safest, legalist way possible, major entities as part of legal cases. The darkmage's blue orbs. Blue orbs. Where are the blue orbs? I should have some blue orbs, right? I need some mana. Oh, my eyes. Yeah, chicks always like to talk about those. My teeth might be fucked up, but my eyes will always be blue and nice looking. I used to date a girl who liked to shit talk on her own eyes, and she said that they were, quote, shit brown. I always thought it was funny because, like, you don't get to choose your eyes, right? Like, we don't get to choose the things that we're born with. So what an odd thing to comment on, because it's not something you can have control over. I mean, unless you're gonna like deceive people by like wearing those fake fucking colored lenses, which I don't know if that's yeah, there's a story there. I'm missing a couple teeth, but in the future I hope to get blinged out, get some nice gold teeth or something to this effect. In the end, I mostly just care about functionality and being able to like eat normal foods and stuff again. No, I plan on getting a few. I've got a couple over here that are missing, but a couple. Well, let's see. When I had my information security position, I managed to get my 4 wisdom teeth pulled finally, and had a 5th one that was complicating things that I had to also get removed. and I've never gotten that one replaced, but it was never problematic. The one that I lost here, however, is a significant functional loss. It's interesting to see which teeth are more important at which times than others, but in the end you want to try and keep all of them if at all possible. I blame my parents for not enforcing better habits as a kid, and I also blame adult depression for reinforcing bad habits that could have been easily overcome if I had instilled proper maintenance and etiquette standards. In the end, everything is kind of about maintenance, and progress is all about doing the same things over and over again on a regular basis, getting into a process where, you know, it might be boring, but at least you're maintaining. And that's ultimately what matters in the end. Maintaining. Shoutouts to everyone who has joined me tonight. Let's all maintain together. There's that Coinbase link. You put $100 in, I get $10, you get an extra $10. Win-win, not financial advice, but help a brother out if you don't have a Coinbase account. You can actually get a Coinbase card and start paying for things using USD coin that you load up onto the card. Functionally, it acts like a preloaded gift card, and so you can actually buy gift cards, which is an interesting kind of detail I've discovered recently. But, well, goodbye, Milkness. Yeah, I'm about to bounce out myself, too. Just drop in last-minute rants and raves. USD coin can be loaded up onto your Coinbase card, and you can actually earn Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a handful of other tokens back, like Stellar and AMP, in different percentages, like 1% Bitcoin, 1% Ethereum, 4% AMP, 4% Stellar. So you actually get like significant, like, you know, cash back potentially. It's really crypto back. I'm all about it because I've been following this Bitcoin thing since like the white paper dropped, and I was broke as shit back then. But what is broke? I was a different kind of broke then. I was broke living out of my bedroom still at my father's place. Bombed out of college, didn't have my degree, had no idea of how to build anything, or for that matter, market myself. Since then, I've worked with countless corporations. I've had hundreds of students, and you know, it's like with Suicide Boys and philosophy of burning all of your resources only to have everything come back to you. And that is the ultimate hope and goal, is that the energy that we put out ultimately does come back to us in some sort of functional matter, which is why it's important to make your moves count. As it is learning what is a move and what is not a move. That's a trial and error basis. So, here's to firing shots. Love all of y'all. Thank you for the support. Thank you for hanging out. We doing shit, we building, we grinding, we teaching, we tutoring. If you want to hit me up for private lessons, anything like that, go hit me up on Twitter. There's, you know, we can work something out. I'm very flexible. Well, time-wise, my body's not flexible, but, you know, that's besides the point. Y'all take it easy. There's a lot of ways to support. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Good evening, good night, Peace out. This is no longer BRB. This is now. Thank you for joining. Goodbye, everyone.